Hi Stampers, it's Kelly from Stamping with Kelly, and I'm so glad that you're joining me for this online tutorial. This is our monthly online card club. It's an event that I've been running for nearly 18 years, not always online, but about 5 years ago, actually 5 years ago, I think next month, we switched to online only, and it's been a wonderful change because now you can join me at your convenience. Maybe you're watching live, maybe you're watching the replay. If you are, please comment along, even if you're on YouTube or Facebook. I would love to see who's watching and where you're watching from. It's so much fun to connect with crafters all over the world. I'm here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and it is still freezing cold. It's crazy cold, right? But you can craft along with me. If you are anywhere in Canada and you place an order from me of at least $35, I'm going to send you a packet of supplies. Looks kind of just like this. And when you receive this in the mail, then you can craft along with us for this video. Again, free with a minimum $35 order. Now I know you're inspired to craft and you have items that you have on your wish list, even if it's just adhesives, even if it's cardstock and replenishing things. It's so awesome to replenish your stash, get some new things off of your list, and then get an online class as well. So I just have to switch around. Sounds good, looks good. Oh, Priscilla, you're my angel today. You guys wouldn't believe, I brought a celebratory bubbly. Bubbly. You guys want to pop one with me? I just rebuilt, along with the amazing help of my brother-in-law Fraser, we just rebuilt this whole look of everything, all my cameras, everything, because it all got crazy last month. And then, so cheers. Thank you, Fraser. You're amazing. And cheers to all of you for joining me. Oh, we finished with 8 minutes to spare. Nothing like the last minute, right? Oh my goodness. Why does everything have to be the last minute? I don't know. So we have very special promotion that's happening right now, and that is Celebration. Hello, Megan. It's good to see you. So Celebration is on now, and that's free products with every $75 order increment. So I have a dog here. I have no kids in the house, but I have a dog here who's really making a lot of noise, whining at me and pawing at me. I think she just wants some attention. She hears me talking and she's like, I want to be involved. So Celebration is on now until the end of February, and it's Stampin' Up's biggest special of the year. Well, come here if you want attention. Okay, here we go. If you hear a weird little whiny dog, she makes grunting pig noises. And if you hear, that's what's going on. All right, you see, there's nothing going on up here. Just go play and have a nap. Free products with every $75 order increment, and deluxe free products with every $150 order increment. Okay, so I always give out a special with a minimum $100 order. During Celebration, it changes to a super deluxe, amazing double product giveaway, and that's shown on your screen there. You can see it's a pack of 12 by 12 inch paper, and what do they call it? It's the 2022 to 2024 in colored textured specialty paper, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got the in color dots to go along with it. Matchy matchy. We love matchy matchy, right? So that's with a $150 purchase this month, and with a $150 purchase you'll also receive 2 Celebration items from Stampin' Up or a deluxe Celebration item from Stampin' Up. So let's talk a little bit more here. So again, this is on now until the end of the month, and we also have more items added. So there's a whole bunch of items from our annual catalog now that you can get for free with a $75 order. And then I also wanted to show you and remind you that it's the best time of year to also host a party. This can be virtual, it can be in person, it can be kits, it can be in my stamping studio. But if you gather together your orders plus your friends' orders and it's over $375, then you actually get an extra a shopping spree. So at that point, you would normally get 12%. And then with the bonus, it ends up being, I think, $81 that you'll get for free as a shopping spree. So it's an amazing deal. Yes, you can do this all on your own. So if you have a massive wish list, you can definitely purchase over $375 of product. You'll get about $81 for free, and it's a fabulous deal. And then you'll get celebration items on top of that too, plus free club, plus free 2-part gift from me. Oh my goodness, right? Start the car. So speaking of great ways to get free products from Stampin' Up! For your celebration, my favorite way of getting free products is to get Paper Pumpkin prepaid subscription. Paper Pumpkin is our subscription service. It comes monthly to your door. It's a surprise to everyone, including us demonstrators. And it's like a demonstrator in a box. It's like a class in a box. And so when you open it up, it includes all the consumable supplies. All you need are just some scissors and a clear block that's included in your first kit. And I like using a different adhesive than what they provide. I like using like a, what's this called? Stampin' Seal. So it's really easy to use, and it's great for first-time crafters. It's also great for gifts too. I take them everywhere that I go. I take them in the car on road trips, and I'm stamping next to my husband who's driving. I take them camping. Stampin' Camping's my favorite. I take them on planes. I take them to the hockey rink, and I'll do them for practices, my son's practices. My daughter always loves doing them with me because she watches a lot of hockey. She gets carted around with me, and so we have our crafting time while he's doing his practice. And sometimes she'll even make it nearly by herself when he's having his game. I like to watch the games though. So Paper Pumpkin is fabulous because it's all inclusive. It has exclusive products in there, so it coordinates with the catalog, but it's a standalone thing. You won't find those products anywhere else. So like the stamp set is an exclusive one. You can't buy that separately. So it's a really great way of crafting. I'm going to show you now. This is the Hello Spring. This is the one that just shipped. Do you guys have this yet? Ooh, I hope you do. Otherwise, I'm going to be showing you something that you don't want to see. Okay, look away if you don't want to see what just came in the box. So this is Hello Spring from February 2025. Just arrived at my doorstep yesterday, and I do have extra kits available for purchase. I can't sell them yet. I can sell them March 11th. So if you want one, just let me know and I'll reserve it for you, okay? So inside your kit, as you open it up, you'll see that you've got a stamp set. Now it's a photopolymer stamp set, but they give you this little insert which works so perfectly as a little sleeve too. So you just fold this in half. You can staple the sides or even put a little bit of adhesive down the sides, and then it turns it into a little pocket where you can store your stamp set. This is a great way of seeing what it actually is saying though. So I really like this one. For you with the reverse, like the negative image. Hello Spring, hello Easter, thanks for helping me grow. Then you've got To a Wonderful Friend and Sending Love. And then you've got the beautiful chives. This looks like a distinctive. Can you guys see that? It looks like it has some etching kind of on it, and it will actually stamp like that. Then you've got the text chives, and then you've got the little blossoms on there. I don't know if you did this when you were kids, but I would always go into the chives when I was a kid. It's like a core memory of mine. And it was just like chopping them with scissors and smelling them. Oh, brings me back. So the projects that we make for this one, let me just get my camera adjusting. There you go. There's 3 each of 3 designs, and it looks to me like we are stamping the little chive blossoms on there, which is really cute. I love this kit. It's so earthy and pretty. The Petunia Pop ink spot is the one that's included, and I really like these envelopes. Let's take a look at all the kit contents here. We'll pull it all apart. So you can purchase this on a month-to-month basis, But my recommendation is to do it as a prepaid subscription. And you can choose to do 1 month. You've got some adhesives and some twine here. You can do 1, 3, 6, or even 12 months as a prepaid subscription. And it's such a great way of getting, ooh, look at all these dimensionals. That's like the mega pack of all mega packs, hey? This is a normal size pack. That's awesome, isn't it? So prepaid subscriptions really maximize your benefits. They give you all of the benefits of ordering through like a club order, but your crafting is going to be coming for months to come. And we've got some foil there. So that means if you were to purchase like a 6-month Paper Pumpkin subscription, you would actually get, I think it's two celebration items. You would get my gift for $150 minimum order, and then you would also have 6 months of crafting coming your way. You can choose to pause or skip the months. You'll see a preview just like the one that I showed you there every month, and so just by the 10th of the month you just have to decide what you're doing. These are so beautiful. I don't think my camera is going to do it justice, but they're all like multicolored. So they're kind of like blue in the middle, and then they go to green, different shades of green. These are really pretty, and they're all laser cut. So just pop them out and put them together. This is going to be a great kit to put together. Okay, so speaking of what's to come, let's do this one here, transition. The Daisy Daydream is the one that you will get as your first kit if you apply a prepaid Paper Pumpkin subscription right now. And this is what we get as our preview. But I tell you what, this is going to be a must-get kit. March is the anniversary of Paper Pumpkin when they first started. And so every March they include a special extra stamp set. And I'm like 95% sure that this one is the month where it comes as an extra special gift. So there's no extra cost. They're literally just including twice the number of stamps into the kit. And this actually coordinates with a beautiful suite from our mini catalog that we're actually going to be using a little bit of tonight. So let me just flip here and then I'll transition you down. There we go. So on page 30 and 31, I don't know if it's on the previous page too. Ah, yes, Floral Delight on page 33, 34, and 35. You can see the other items in this suite. So we've got little cute honeybees. We've got this beautiful paper that has so many yellows and oranges, lots of really beautiful colors in there, really bright and happy. So if you want to get this, just make sure you're getting your Paper Pumpkin subscription and applying it before March 10th. You'll want to purchase it in February though, because then it's going to count towards your February celebration items and that 2-part free gift as well. So make sure you are doing that. If you are interested as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can also get a special die pack. And this has coordinating items with January's kit, February's kit, and March's kit. So you'll see here that die cutting out the chives so that you can get your beautiful chives stamp cut out, and then the little bloom of the chives cut out as well. So that's really cute. I love it. It makes more sense now. Before I was like, what is this thing? But now that I see the actual kit, it all comes together, as it always does. I want to remind you as well, if you're looking at placing an order, top it up with some last chance products. These products are leaving us forever, and they've got some great discounts in that section as well. So go to stampingwithkelly.stampinup.net, click Shop Now, and then under Specials, click Last Chance Products. And that's going to bring up all of the products that are leaving us. And so it's like once they leave the warehouse, they are not being replenished. There's no more orders coming in to replenish this stock. So you'll want to make sure that you get these items before they're gone forever. And you can sort them in a whole bunch of different ways, especially if you're on a laptop. Mobile device doesn't work as well. Just because you can't sort it as many different ways. But if you go onto your laptop or onto your desktop computer, you can sort it by cost and a whole bunch of different ways. You can really make sure that you're getting the best deal. And again, if you're close to that $75 or $150 or even beyond that too, right? Just top up your order, make sure that you're not missing another celebration item by a couple dollars, especially when you can add in a last chance product. Okay. I think that's all my talking for now. I will take you over to my desk here where I will take you through making the projects. So again, your projects are going to look something like this when you receive them from me. We're going to start from the top. Not everyone will receive this project. This is actually a bonus project for people who pick up their supplies from my house. And I live in South Edmonton. If you don't pick up your supplies from my house, or if you're not in Edmonton, you can pay extra to have these shipped. But the way I do it is shipping is included for free with everyone in Canada. And then if you want to pick up your projects, it saves me a whole bunch of time and effort actually putting it in the post, and some money too. And so I'm happy to reward you with an extra card. So that's this card here. And let's put this together now. The finished card is going to look just like this, and it's a really fun fold. So it just kind of hinges open like this. It's a Z fold, and because we're using paper pumpkin, this designer series paper isn't our typical weight of designer series paper. It's a lot heavier duty cardstock. And I'm so excited to use it on this project because it means that you don't have to add another layer of cardstock. It really stands up by itself. You might have a vertical version of it, or you might have the horizontal version of it. So the products that we're using here are actually from a paper pumpkin kit, which I was telling you about. I'm loving those paper pumpkin kits so much. This one is a past kit. And so if you're interested in some of the past kits that I have, or even some from our kits collection, I have a whole bunch in stock from years and years and years of being a paper pumpkin subscriber. I always order extra every month. And so if you're interested, I'd be happy to send you my list of all of the different paper pumpkins, and you can shop from there too. So shopping from my stash, be it retired stash or my kit stash, doesn't count towards celebration, doesn't count towards club, but you get great deals in there, and you get products that you can't get from Stampin' Up on my website too. So Memorable Meadows, the cards are really pretty, and they actually featured these gorgeous wood cutouts. So these are kind of, I would say, 1/8 of an inch thick, and they're laser cut, and then you can pop them out and put them onto your projects just like this. And when you receive this kit, you actually get the cardstock bases, which look like this, and they have a score line in the middle so you can fold them, and then that would be your card base. And it's so beautiful. It's maybe too beautiful to use this piece here as the back side of your card. So what I did was cut it down so that this became 2 card fronts. So essentially every single one of these 9 cards that's included in the kit turns into double. So you actually get 18 card fronts out of this kit if you would like to modify it in this way. So you could really have a lot of fun with it. Of course, you don't get extra wood cuts, so I couldn't include those for you all because I wouldn't have enough. I would be short 50% of them. So I wanted to switch up the layout and try something different. I went simple with this one though, and I just love the look of it because I think that that paper really just shows. It's a bit of a showstopper, right? It kind of says it all. I'm so glad to see you too, Michelle. Thanks for joining me after your crazy day. Sometimes things are a little crazy. You know, speaking of crazy, I think I was maybe a little bit crazy when I was sorting these cards, and I was just telling Kathy, like, I don't know, I think I do pretty well with not making mistakes because I don't hear too many things, but guess what? I made a mistake. So I think that I probably missed including this piece of paper in your card. Luckily, it is one of the most standard sizes of paper that you can use, and it's white cardstock, so I'm sure you have something that would work. So if you don't have it, you can come back to it. You can do it along with me, but you might fall behind a little bit. Don't get stressed. If you're watching the replay, then you can pause me, but if you're watching live, don't get stressed. You'll watch the replay tomorrow and forevermore. It will be available on YouTube and my Facebook channel. So this is going to go on the inside. The size of this piece then is 4 inches wide by 5¼ inches long, and that's going to nest perfectly here inside there. And I'm so sorry that I missed including that. I had them cut and then I don't know what happened. Something crazy happened. I don't know. I'm using a stamp set here called Spring Corners, which is so fun. This stamp is actually from our online exclusive collection, and it just is so unique, and it actually coordinates with a secondary stamp that we have from our Celebration offering. So Celebration is not available for purchase, and it's only available to redeem with a minimum purchase. So this one is actually a deluxe stamp set, and I'll show you why, because it's just massive. It has all of these stamps here. I have some of them mounted up, so that's why they're missing, but this is available for free with a minimum $150 order. And just a reminder that that's going to get you a 2-part free gift, which is actually featured a little bit on this card. So the in-color textured specialty paper is featured on the card here with that little strip that goes across, and you can feel like the texture of it is so awesome. And then it's got the shimmer on there too. It's so pretty. And then the second part of that free gift is the matte decorative dots. So make sure that you are topping up your orders and you're taking advantage of those deals. I'm going to use Orchid Oasis. If you have the darker color of purple, it's the Starry Sky, and these are retired in colors. If you don't have those ones, Mossy Meadow would work beautifully. What are some of the other colors in this pack? When you look at your when you look at your paper pumpkin instructions, they're really useful to keep even afterwards, because you can see the coordinating Stampin' Up colors here down at the bottom. You might not be able to read those, but I can read them to you. Balmy Blue, Basic Black, Berry Burst, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Fresh Freesia, Garden Green, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, and Very Vanilla. Beautiful colors in there, hey? You know what also goes with everything? Black. Same thing with wardrobe, right? What goes with everything? Black. I love black. I wear a lot of black. Well, you stick with what works, right? Black matches really well with black too, so that's trouble, right? I actually mounted up both of these stamps, so wishing you an amazing day, and then this beautiful sprig of what looks like just pretty, what are they, hydrangeas maybe, or little flowers, whatever, flowers of whatever kind. And I mounted this up the first time that I stamped this. This is a great tip for if you're making multiples of the same card. You can use a big block and just really get the job done. And if you're looking for something during Celebration to purchase and treat yourself, can I recommend to you this glass mat? It is such a treat to stamp on. You'll get the clearest stamped images ever, and it's really nice to work with. You've got the grid that's built into it, and it's actually on the underside, so you can't even scratch it off. It comes with this silicone mat, and then it also comes with a little simple chamois that you can use for cleaning it off. Oh, I have to do a little bit more stamping on my little tag here. I had one here. Let's go. Happy birthdays. This is also from the Spring Corners. So many people have been saying to me, oh my goodness, sometimes I just don't know where to look to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And all I can say to you is the way that you don't miss anything is by going online. When you check on my website and my online store, it will give you so many places to poke around and peek at to make sure that you are finding everything that Stampin' Up! Has to offer right now. We do have online exclusives. We have some items that are from our scrapbooking brochure. I'm just trying to find some dimensionals here. I don't know how every time I'm finishing up a sheet of dimensionals, how can it be that I'm always finishing dimensionals every time? Oh, Michelle, yeah, you love your glass mat. I'm so glad for you. For me, when I am stamping in the other room in my studio, this is my recording studio, then I've got my stamping studio over there where I hold my classes. And in there, I find I miss it. I just love it so much. So if you're interested, right now is the time to get it. Then you can really take advantage of all the special deals. For this piece here, I think I'm going to put my border up high. I don't know how you decide on each of these because the paintings are so beautiful. I don't want to cover them up. And they are actually painting. Oh, Shada, I think I need to do what you're doing. You've got 2 mats. They're amazing. Oh, I'm so glad you're loving them. I should just bite the bullet and listen to my own advice, right? Get a second mat so that I never have to be without a mat. Oh, so good to see you. So good to see you. So I've got my happy birthday here. And now when you're adhering this onto the front of your card, you just want to make sure you're not putting adhesive over the whole back. So what I do is I actually flip it over like this so I can tell exactly where to put my adhesive. So I want to keep it on this side so I'm not gluing it shut. Because have you guys ever done that before? I started doing it last night again. Got distracted for a minute and then everything went haywire. There we go. So now you've got this awesome Z fold with a fun panel. So they can kind of flip it like this or they can pull it open like that. And I just love this fold. It's such a standard, but it's an oldie but a goodie. When I'm putting on these little sequins, I'm going to be using my Tombow, this multi-adhesive liquid glue. Some people use this for putting together their entire card. I like the inline adhesives. You kind of want to count how many you've got going on there. And then what's going to make your life really easy is using your take your pick tool with the putty. I actually use the other side in conjunction too. And I'm going to pick up a little sequin, pop it onto the card, and then disconnect it with this little metal piece. I'm so glad that we are all here and crafting our hearts out. It's wonderful to be together, especially during these cold winter months, hey? When us Canadians just feel like hibernating all the time. My husband's away at work right now. He sent me a screenshot of his weather. I think Fort McMurray was having weather like this. But he's not in Fort McMurray right now. He is actually in Saskatchewan. And it's tricky because he doesn't even, I don't even think he sees one tree. It is a barren, open plain. So you can imagine the wind just comes through there like crazy. And he sent me a screenshot of the weather yesterday, and it said -38, I think it was, without the wind chill. With the wind chill, -55, and he's working outside for like 12 hours a day. He actually is in the desk job, so he has it better than some of his colleagues. But when it's cold like that, he always tries to get out and boost morale and not just hide in his shack. So I think it's the same today. Brutal. This little scattering of sequins I just think is so much fun. And isn't it a fun assortment as well? You can kind of see, I think, here that we've got different styles. So we've got little hexagon, oh, there we go, little hexagon magenta sequins. We've got round blue ones. These kind of have like an indent impressed onto them. And then there's even these dots. Can you see how raised that is? It's probably 1/4 of an inch off of my card there. And so you get all of these in just one pack. It's so cute. Look at that, hey? And you can see all the sparkle in there. I've actually used this pack for 36 cards already as embellishments, and you can see there's still so much left. When you get it, it truly is nearly full to the top. And so I've only used maybe like 1/3 of it. I think that's pretty incredible. You can make a lot of shaker cards with these too. But I just love these cards. I think they're simple and beautiful. They've got a little bit of sparkle, but I think they're really letting that paper be the showcase. All right, where do you get these products? I'm so glad that you asked. In Celebration, I showcased a couple of these products. So both of them are actually free with a $150 purchase. The first one here is the heart-shaped bundle, and I just used a stamp out of that one for a card that I made the other day. It says, "My thoughts of you are all heart-shaped," and I love that saying. It's so pretty. Then the other stamp that I used is the Corner in Bloom, and that's the one that is so big, so deluxe, and it's got all of these corners. You can have them in stamped like in from the edge a little bit, like what I've done, or can you imagine as well, if you stamp it just a little bit further lower, then you can actually have it kind of coming in just a little bit on the side there. It's a totally different look, and it's gorgeous as well. It also has extra pieces that you can build your own little frames too. And so if you wanted to make this a border that goes all the way around the card, you can imagine you can stamp 2 of them like this, and then stamp this one here kind of in the middle between the 2 of them, just to bridge things and to make it seem longer, match whatever square that you've got going on. I should mention as well, for the previous one here, this heart-shaped bundle, this is actually a 2-part gift for free with a $150 purchase. And so you get the stamps and also the dies. The dies cut out some standalone images, and then it also cuts out these 3 flowers here. So this doesn't cut out the hearts, but they kind of coordinate together, and this looks beautiful as a layer added on top of this. Like, stamp this on your paper and then add a layer of paper heart over top. Gorgeous. This long tag fits 2 of the sayings, and I really like the sayings. Plus you get a little hello. Hello is such a cute little one to be added into your card. Okay, from our mini catalog, we used, oh, nothing. I keep doing that. It means there's an online exclusive, but it's messing me up. I'll tell you about the online exclusive in a second. From our annual catalog, we've got the Punch or Die. This is the Labeled with Love punch, or you can choose to get it as a pack of 3 dies. And the dies are not connected in a row like this. It truly is 3 individual dies. So it's the same price for both of them, but for one you get 1 punch, and one of them you get 3 dies. So what are you going to choose? Would you choose what I did, the punch, or are you going to choose the dies and get 3 for each crank that you do? From our online exclusives, this is just a printout that I do. So if you're on my newsletter list, you have this in your inbox already. And then tomorrow I send out an email with the updated project photo, because I don't like to do spoilers. No spoilers. But here we can see that we've got the Memorable Meadow Paper Pumpkin Pass kit. You can get a full kit or you can get the refill, and I have those available from my stash. So if you want those, you can just reach out. And then you also have the, oh, do I not have it here? Heart-shaped bundle, labeled with love. Oh, I don't have it actually noted. That's funny. The spring corners is the other one that I use, and that's with those sayings. I have to remember to add that. Let's write that down. Spring corners. I'll add that on, and so when you get it in your inbox tomorrow, it'll have this included so that you can have it for your reference. For ordering, all right, you guys ready for the next card? I hope so. I'm going to switch up the order a little bit. Last night, this card took us a little bit longer to do, and so I'm going to switch up the order. So instead of going through and grabbing the next one in your pile, which looks like this, we're going to put that aside and we're going to do that one last, okay? We're going to do the one that looks like this, which is at the bottom of your stack. I've been doing this for many, many years, and lots of thought goes into the order in which I present the projects, but I messed it up this time. And we should have done this one first. So we're going to fix it on this video. Last night, I learned from my mistake, and then we're going to do it differently this time. Okay, we have got an adorable card here. It's a specialty fold. So fun folds are what we're doing tonight. And when you finish it, when you first start putting it together, it looks like this. And then when the finished card comes together, it actually looks like this. So you've got a layered piece here, a rectangle, and then a layered rectangle underneath, and they're going to come apart just like this to reveal your message on the inside. Cute, right? So cute. Ta-da! Okay, so we've got some decisions to make. First things first, let's take a look at your frame. I've got 3 different frames that I cut out, and depending on your frame, you might have to adjust things a little bit, okay? So this is quite a large frame that I've got going on here. It doesn't leave too much room at the bottom. The frame that I used last night was actually so big that I stamped this first, and then it was so big it was actually going to cover it, so I had to put it horizontal. So you'll want to play around with it a little bit. Some of you may not want to stamp onto your designer series paper. You might have like a really busy designer series paper, and that might not be the look that you're going for. No worries, you have an opportunity to put a stamped saying on the next panel and then just have the front panel as a showcase of the image. So either which way, I think it works really, really well. So you can see there, that's 2 of the frames. The 3rd frame is like this, and I think I'm going to have room here to put a saying at the bottom. So I'm going to start with that. So let's do our stamping first. We're just stamping a couple of sayings. I'm going with new baby, like welcome little baby, because I don't make too many baby cards, and I'm running a little bit low, actually. Do you find that in your world, babies come in like a bit of a baby boom? I have 3 cousins who each gave birth to babies within, I think, 6 months of each other. They're all siblings, and they all gave birth right around the same time. It was crazy. How wonderful for these awesome cousins who are going to grow up almost like siblings, right? But it's pretty busy for the parents, pretty busy for the grandparents too, who are trying to be everywhere and do everything for all 3 families now. But I love babies so much. It's like, try not to want babies, more babies, right? All right, I'm using a stamp set called Storybook Friends. This is the coordinating stamp set that goes along with this suite in our mini catalog. And this is genius. I just love it. I have to take a look. I think it might be unavailable to order right now, but we'll take a look and see when it is back available. If you're interested, then just send me a message and I will keep you up to date. I always have a list of people who are looking for product, and it just helps to have another set of eyes looking for when it's back in stock. We have an inventory status report to look at as demonstrators, and so I can pass along the information from there. And most of the time it's pretty accurate. Storybook Friends has a whole bunch of images as well as a bunch of sayings. So I'm going to be using Welcome Little One and Somebody Loves You. And this tag here is quite a bit bigger than the one that I had here. So depending on that, you might want to adjust it around a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is actually stamp a cute little bunny. Oh my goodness, so cute. In this stamp set, you've got the images, you've got the sayings, and then if you purchase the bundle, you actually get coordinating dies that go along with it. And the dies are excellent. You get those big frames, 3 of them. Let me show you those. So 3 big frames. And then you also get all the outlines to cut out our little characters. So every single one of these little characters has a die that goes along with it. So you can cut them all out perfectly. Then you've also got a little stone wall, which you can make as the surrounding behind them, or little carrots poking out of a garden. Then you got a little cottage in the distance. This makes me think of Beatrix Potter. Do you guys think of it as well? I think it's such a cute suite. I'm using Early Espresso ink, and that I think is going to show up really nicely on my designer series paper. And I'm going to see, I hope that I can fit that little bunny and Somebody Loves You. Yeah, I'm doing it. So I'm going to put the Welcome Little One on the outside, and then I'm going to put the Somebody Loves You on the inside. Cute! I'm kind of going with the flow here tonight. I wasn't anticipating stamping that little bunny on the card there, but hey, I like it. We're going to go with it. I'm going to go with this kind of plaid pattern, and I'm just laying the frame on there and going to line it up kind of from there as best as I can with the camera in the way. I have to go very close to the bottom. Oh, I hope that's straight. Oh, it looks awesome. Perfect. Now I'm going to stamp my little bunny. That is adorable. Oh my gosh. You guys. I'm like dying a little bit here. Bunnies are my favorite. Oh, it's so cute. Wow. The detailed image for that stamp is just so nice to see. I'll bring it up closer here. Can you see that? Wow, hey? Doesn't it look great? I'm going to do a little coloring on it. Again, I'm going with the flow here, so I'm going to just grab, I think, some crumb cake. And I'm just going to do this as a monochromatic little bunny. Oh, you know what? I got to grab some pink. Where's a nice soft pink? Pink Pirouette. That might be an older color. I think I got to go with it. Woo! A little pink inside the ears. Pink tummy. Do they have a pink tummy? Maybe not. Well, this one has a pink tummy. Oh, and a pink little nose. Oh my goodness. I'm dying. It's so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to start with, I've got my light crumb cake and my dark crumb cake. I'm going to start with my dark crumb cake and just do a little bit of a shadow around some of the areas here. And I'm almost like dotting my way along too, because I don't want to make it too dark. There we go. Cute. And then I'm going to use my light crumb cake, and I'm coloring over top of that. I realize that many of you do not have this adorable stamp set, but you might have to add it to your list now, hey? Once you see how cute it is. So I like using like little kind of wispy brush strokes, and as light as I can go on the face. With the Stampin' Blends, they're alcohol markers, and so when you color over top of the darker color, you can actually move that around a little bit. It creates this really beautiful blended look. That's why they get their name, the Stampin' Blends. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with that. It looks just adorable. Isn't it cute? Oh, like cuteness overload. I can't even handle it. Okay, let's start putting together our pieces before I melt into a puddle of goo. Okay, so the rectangular, the shorter, fatter rectangle goes just like that. Then longer rectangle goes like this. And you can see some of your designer series paper might be cut the other way, so you can't use the back side of it. That's all right. I like those strawberries better anyways. This designer series paper is also a huge winner in my book, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. It has so many extras included. That's not straight. What is happening? There we go. Perfect. All right, so for the outer part of the card, I'm going to finish this off here by putting some dimensionals on the back side. You could definitely glue this flat down, but I really liked it popped up. So I'm going to do the work of making mini dimensionals even more mini. I did have a sheet. There it is. So I have a sheet here where I've cut some mini dimensionals in half. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool to pull those up and place them. Sometimes you can get away with using just a mini dimensional, but this frame is pretty detailed, pretty dainty. So I'm going with just a few kind of in the corners. There we go. So I cracked my bubbly earlier, and I wanted to ask you guys, because my favorite thing is sparkling waters. I can't really handle the sugar of pop, except for Diet Coke. That's the exception. Diet Pepsi, sure, no problem. Same difference. I can handle that, but I just don't, when I want to have something to drink, I find I just don't want to have pop anymore. The health benefits of water, and I want something carbonated, but just not sweet. I'm loving bubblies, but I'm wondering if there's a carbonated water that you found that you really like. I also have the Soda Stream, but I find there's something about you know, just cracking a can and having the bubbles be so small and bubbly. Oh yes, Michelle and her Diet Coke, or sorry, her not Diet Coke, she likes regular Coke. She likes the original. I know what she likes actually. She likes McDonald's fountain pop. Even better maybe would be the Coke that you can get in the United States, but I actually found in Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada the other day, and it's Mexican Coca-Cola. Who knew? Did you see that at Shoppers? Did you know that it's purchased there? I meant to send you a picture actually, because that was a very exciting moment. I found it in the States when we were in Vegas a few months ago, but I'm putting dimensionals on the back side of my figure, and I'm not even telling you about this cute little figure. So this is actually from the Designer Series paper packs. When you purchase the pack of Designer Series paper, it comes with the sheets, the regular sheets of pattern paper, and then you actually get two, I think it's two sheets where you get all of these pre-colored, pre-cut pieces that you just pop out. And I'll show you the extra pieces that I have. I used all the characters so that everyone could have a character. But then you're also left over with so many of these little watering cans. Oh, look at this cute little mouse in a teapot or teacup. Carrots and rubber boots and little fence and wheelbarrows, everything. You can make some really adorable scenes. And that just comes in the Designer Series paper pack. I'll show you that in a little bit here too. Okay, so I've got that piece. Let's put the embellishments on here too. And while we're at it, let's make our cute little bow. Okay, so Michelle is saying, yeah, baby, fountain Coke is the best. Mexican Coke in the glass bottle, so tasty. Yeah, I think you're right, though. Fountain Coke is the best. And Priscilla says, American Coke does taste better. Why is that, I wonder? They must be using different sugar. Also in love with the apple flavored bubbly right now. Ooh, I should try that. That sounds amazing. Can you guys see what I'm doing here to make the tiniest bow ever? I just keep massaging it. I just keep going back and tightening it even more. So if you feel like bows are not your thing, that you struggle with them, just know I don't think that anyone makes a perfect bow on the first try. It's all about how you stick with it. So don't give up. I think I might have to do it on this side here for this one. Don't give up. Stick with it. Keep tying it. Keep making it smaller, smaller, however you want it to be. There's little bow tying tricks that you can use, little tools and things like that. But really, sometimes you just need to keep with it. Make it succumb to your will. Okay, so I've got my front piece. I'm going to put on my little embellishments as well. Welcome, little one. Oh my gosh, I'm just obsessed with this card. This suite is so different and cute. So we got 1, 2, 3 for those. And now I've got my panels. So I've got this one, this one. I'm going to put my little saying on after I kind of get my layers together, but I wanted to make sure that we did this part together. So taking your bone folder, you're going to want to make sure you're burnishing those score lines. And let me tell you what size of paper this is. You actually need a full piece of 8.5 by 11 to make a card base like this. So imagine you've got your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, just like this. And your piece that you're going to cut down for this card base is actually just a 1/4 inch off at the top. So the dimension is 10 3/4, and then this is the standard 5.5, but it means that you're left with like a little rectangle that you can use for punching or whatever you want. Then you're going to score at 1 5/8, 1 5/8, and 3 1/4 in from both sides. So I just did one side, flipped around, and then did the other side. And that's how I got those score lines. And tonight's cards are all about casing, which is an acronym for copy and share everything. So at the end here, I'm going to show you my inspiration card, which I was working off of to be inspired to create this card here that I've made for you guys. When you're gluing on this panel, let's just remember that we only want adhesive in this section here. This is the part where I was gluing it closed last night. Don't do what I did last night. Luckily, I used my adhesive eraser, and that just rolled my Stampin' Seal right back off of the paper, and no harm, no foul. I'm making it equal at the top, side, and the bottom. And then now I'm going to fold this in. Now you could have this a few different ways. if you wanted to, this panel could sit like this, and then this panel could sit like that. I really liked the look, can you see, where this here nests underneath, like kind of in between this back panel and the front panel, or I should say this side panel that's holding on the front panel. Does that make sense? Okay. So what that means is that I'm now taking into account that I want adhesive only just under this little section here. So I've got to be really, really careful with what I'm doing. Okay, flipping it over, and I'm going to use dimensionals for this because I love dimensionals, and I don't mind mailing dimensionals either. I just stick them in the mail and they just seem to work. And I'm going to keep going here, putting dimensional, these are the little edge pieces. I've got 3 sheets here that I'm wrapping up. Who's using all these dimensionals? Oh, it's me! I have all these like mostly empty sheets that I'm working with here. Oh gosh, I'm so close to finishing this one up. Such an exciting feeling. I'm gonna have to find that apple flavored stuff. I love a bubbly. I love a bubbly out of a champagne glass, like a champagne flute. Something fancy like that. It's like a good little treat. You know what I mean? You think you're enjoying something even more crazy than what it is. So now you've got your front panel that slides open, then your middle panel, and then you've got your back panel there. Feel free to stamp a saying. You guys know I write so much in my cards that I actually leave them blank on the inside for the most part. When you're placing this piece on, I think it's a good idea to try and place it underneath so it's not going to be visible when your card is closed. And inside the cards, I refrain from using dimensionals just because I like it to be flat. So I'm going to put this just like this. Before I press it on, I'm going to make sure that it's covered, make sure it's straight. And now, oh my goodness, you guys, guess what? My genius plan of this nesting in here, it's now not working because I've got too many dimensionals there. Let's see if I can take off one dimensional and have it work. Otherwise, we go with a plan B. Plan Bs also are okay. they're just not my favorite. This dimensional has to move down. Let's see if we can get it to go. Are you guys doing the same thing on your card, or are you just letting go? Hey, look it works. Yahoo! So now you've got the cute fold on the front of the card, and then as you open it up, ta-da! Some bunny loves you. Oh my goodness, so cute, right? And look at all these different characters that you can have. This one here's chasing butterflies. This one's got like a turnip or a beet. Cute, right? Fun way to use the Designer Series paper in this suite as well, which I'm about to show you. There's no celebration items featured on this card, but there are items from our mini catalog, and they're all from one page. It says the Storybook Moments Mega Suite. Why do I call it a mega suite? Because it's got 2 bundles in it. The first bundle is this Storybook Friends stamp with all the images there, and it's got all the characters, and it's also got some sayings. This one comes with the frames that I showed you before, but here they are. So these frames that were used on your card here, as well as the frames that cut out all of these different characters so that you can add them onto your project. The second bundle has no words in it, and it's just like a gardening bundle. So it's really fun to go along with those characters, like a la Beatrix Potter style. But this is also a standalone, right? You could use this for so many cards for people who love gardening. When you take a look at your catalog, make sure you're looking in detail at the pictures. They've done such a good job of explaining and showing everything that comes in these suites. So on page 27, you can see this die here in action. So what they've done is cut that out of some really nice brown cardstock. It looks like it's probably pecan pie, I would say. And these little pieces here actually open up and you can put things coming out of them. So it's interactive if you want it to be. You can have people able to pull vegetables right out of the ground. Love that. When you see these dies as well, this is the outline here of the watering can, and there's actually an overlay which you can put over top of it as well to make it like a cute standalone item. If you wanted to, you could use this outline die to cut out the stamped image too, as well as all of these other images or outlines to cut out the images too. Lots and lots of options for you there. Okay, also included in this suite and on this card is one of my favorite ribbons that we've had in a while, to be honest. This is the Petal Pink Scallop ribbon, and then we also have these antique pearls, and I know many of you have them in your hands, so I'm showing them, but you actually can see them perfectly in your hands. And these ones are just so dainty and pretty. I can't figure out the color. It's like a mix between vanilla and basic beige and almost like a pink iridescence. So they're really unique and fun. They're quite flat. They mail no problem, and I love the look of these. They're really cute. For designer series papers, we actually have two different designer series papers on this mega suite. The first one is Timeless Plaid designer series paper, and that's what we've used for this outer panel. This comes 6 inches by 6 inches and has a whole bunch of colors. I've used more of the colors that are like the pinks and the light browns. Of course, on the back side, you've got a totally different set of colors. And then the ones that I haven't used yet, I'm thinking Father's Day is going to happen here with some of these more bluey, greeny, masculine looking ones. They're pretty, aren't they? With plaids, I just find that they're so versatile. You can use them as designer series paper. You could even use them to stamp on too, like we did at the front here. I think that's a really fun technique to remember, is that you can stamp on your designer series paper and really customize it, make it your own. The last item from this suite is the Storybook Moments Specialty Designer Series paper. This is the one that comes with all of those die cut characters that you can pop out. It also has full sheets of designer series paper. I've used up so much of them, you guys, but lots of beautiful patterns there too. I really love this one. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, it makes me think of my childhood. This is the most unique sheet of them all though, and this is a piece that you can cut down and make into different card fronts and different things. So it's like, what, 10 pattern papers in one? 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 11 pattern papers in one, and including these cute little goose and ducklings, goslings. If it's a goose, they're goslings, right? You wouldn't have ducklings. Ugly duckling with the geese? That is the story, I guess. All right, then from our annual catalog, we have nothing. So we're done with talking about the products that we've used there, but I will show you my design inspiration. And I don't have the name of the person who made this card anymore. I'm sorry, person who made this card, but they used the coffee suite. And I just love this card and how it comes together and opens up. They used a darker color of cardstock base, so they put a panel on the inside, which looks great as well. But this is actually on the last chance product, so make sure you get this before it's gone. I love this coffee suite. It was released as an online exclusive, and it's a lot of fun. So different. Okay, you guys ready for our next card? We're going to go backwards and pull out a card that looks something like this. You might have different colors of this one. You might have a really dark purple, our Blackberry Bliss, or you might have Coastal Cabana. Okay. I love that you love that card, Priscilla. I'm so glad that you like it. Okay. This is the card that we're going to be making now. I did two versions of it because I wanted to show you, but the version that you will be making here has got these soft colors applied to the textured, what are these things called? They are called hibiscus. I don't keep wanting to call them hydrangea. I got the H right. So I just used my blending brushes actually to apply color onto these. And I'm using petal colors. I'm going to read you off the coordinated colors in a minute here, but I'll show you the difference between these two cards. When you open up this card, it's actually a gift card holder. So you can put a business card in there, gift card, it's great. Or you could have like a little extra panel that has a special message on it, who knows, right? I like cards like this. It's actually, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Actually, it's the same kind of layout as our next card that we're about to do, but this card here actually just has it scored. So you have a regular 8.5 by 5.5 piece of paper and score at 4 1/4 and then 1 inch from the one side, and then that creates this little pocket here. This is the alternative that I made last night because I wanted to show you that you can actually stamp onto paper and then use the cut and emboss folder. This is our hybrid, Happy Hibiscus hybrid embossing folder. Oh my goodness, right? That's like so many words. So what this is a pack of dies and an embossing folder that are purchased together as one item. You can't get them individually, but you can use them individually or together. You can even use them along with the coordinating stamp set, which is called Happy Hibiscus. So for the cards that you're making, I can't send out stamped images, but I wanted to show you that you can do that as well. So the cards that you're making have a piece of basic white cardstock put into this folder, and then you sandwich it. You crank it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then when you do that, it has them cut out and emboss at the same time. So you get this gorgeous texture onto your flowers. We're going to use that texture to our advantage and put on some color using the blending brushes. You can use Stampin' Daubers if you want, or you can leave them white if you wanted to. But what I did for this card here is I stamped onto the paper first with this single stamp that has the 3 flowers on it in perfect position. Then I put it into the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in the folder, and then it is going to cut and emboss the stamped images and pop them right out. So it's a really great way to use your products. And for this darker colored card, I think it really pops, doesn't it? So you'll have to grab some colors here, and we're going to really pop this out and make it its own. We're using a designer series paper that is from Celebration. It's called Bloom Impressions. It's available with a $75 purchase. And the coordinating colors that are flowery, that I'm going to skip over the blues, okay? But Blackberry Bliss, if you wanted to go really dark. There's Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pumpkin Pie if you want an orange. And then I'm actually using the blue color here, coordinating that color, which is Pool Party. So I'm using Pool Party for my stamped saying and the leaves that I'm putting on. And then I'm going to use, I think for this one, maybe Petunia Pop, Melon Mambo, and maybe a Flirty Flamingo. I think that will be a good match for me. Oh, perfect. Those are, I think, the exact colors that I have here on my brushes. That worked out really well. Let's do our flowers first, and then from there we can have those drying a little bit. I'm going to go, I think, Flirty Flamingo for the biggest one, and then I'm going to go Melon Mambo for the smallest one, and the Petunia Pop, which is one of our in colors for the medium-sized one. I'm going to start with the lightest one first, just in case I get it on my fingers. Okay, so you can get small or large blending brushes. I don't find that I necessarily like or use one more than the others, but I like having a selection of different ones for different colors. So this is what I have, and I find that it works pretty well. I think I've got 2 packs of the large and 1 pack of the small ones, and I find I get, you know, a selection of blues and yellows, and I kind of have one for dark blues, one for yellows, some for pinks. I must have 3 packs of the large ones maybe. The math isn't mathing as I'm looking at them. So I'm just kind of working horizontally, like kind of brushing it side to side, not pressing too much down, so that the color really sticks to the raised sections. Okay, that I'm going to do last. Oh no, did I do it at the wrong order? I totally did it the wrong order. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay, Flirty Flamingos going on the biggest one, Kelly, is what you said. Are you guys yelling at your monitors? Your screens? That's funny. Like, do one thing and then you just revert back to doing whatever you want anyways. I like making the stamen and the, what do you call it? Stamen and the little nubules at the end. I'm just making stuff up now. What is that part called of the flower? The seeds? The pollinator pockets? Welcome to my science class, you guys. I hope you're learning a lot. Oh, my mom right now is converting some old home videos onto digital format from VHS. And so she just keeps showing me them, and they are hilarious. We were just hilarious as kids. Oh, this is so pretty. It really looks gorgeous. Okay, and then now I'm going to use the Melon Mambo on the smallest one. Silly person. I'm going to just stick a dimensional on the back side here so that I don't have to hold it down, and then that's going to peel off really nicely from my workstation here. Otherwise, I really will have ink all over the place. Oh, that's cute. Hey, it looks even better because I have the 2 different colors on there. We'll say that anyways. Okay, when you're using the glass mat and you finished up with anything where you're spreading ink around, you just want to make sure that you've got your simple chamois handy, or it comes with a little simple chamois. Of course, these ones are dry. Let's see here. You just want to wipe it up. Simple chamois might look nasty, but as long as the water runs clear off of it, then it's good to go. I'm just going to dry this here for a second. Simple chamois got it all. That's good. Okay, for our cardstock base, let's just get going on that while we're waiting for this other stuff to dry. Dry just a little bit, right? Folding that in half, then folding this flat. I'm going to use my tear and tape and create that little pocket. You can make this pocket smaller if you wanted to. I'm going to leave it big. It's flexible then for whatever you want to stick into it. Tear and tape is great for when you are fixing things that are moving around or kind of being pulled around a little bit. So I'm just going to stick those 2 together. Now I've got a little pocket here. Then for the outside of the card, I've got my beautiful designer series paper. Ooh, both sides of this are just gorgeous. I started committing to that other side already being shown, so that's what we're going with. Now, if you wanted to do some stamping on this inside piece, just remember that this part here is going to be visible. And so you might want to keep the stamping just to the left side instead. I'm going to use my hibiscus again. So Happy Hibiscus is the name. This is an online only item. I've got these gorgeous solid hibiscus. I'm going to go with Petunia Pop, both of them the same. This is a really beautiful color. I'm glad it's sticking with us for another year. Look at that nice stamped image. So clear when you're using the glass mat. Now again, you want to clean up your workstation really quickly so that you don't have your paper going into it. And then that can go on the inside here. I'm getting crazy with my workstation. There we go. That will lighten up even more. It actually lightens up to look like this. Isn't that a difference? It's a big difference between the wet and the dry. We'll check back on it and we'll see if I'm lying or not. We're going to use the pool party. If you have some leaves in your collection, these ones are from that same Happy Hibiscus set. And I'm just going to stamp these kind of coming out the top and the side. When I'm stamping, I double mount my stamps onto blocks. That way I can just seamlessly transition between the two of them. There we go. Now we've got a little strip of paper included in your pack here, and this is meant to overhang a little bit. I maybe trimmed this one a little bit shorter than my liking, to be honest, last night. So stamp as best as you can into the middle of it. And I think I'm going to do Let's Celebrate again. Birthdays seem to be the cards that you need the most, right? Birthdays and sympathies right now. My goodness, the sympathy cards that I need. Oh, it's just devastating. Okay, now to make sure that I don't make the same mistake as last time, I am going to use my paper as a guide. I'm going to center it, and then I'm going to eyeball it to snip off the same on either side. So I'm snipping off probably 3/8 of an inch, half of an inch. Now before I put this onto my card, I'm going to adhere these beautiful hibiscus, not hydrangeas, and I'm actually doing a sneaky little trick. So I did the one big one in the center here, then I did about 3/4 of the middle-sized one, trimmed off the excess of that after I had it already attached to the paper, and then put the other 1/4 or 1/3 of it just at the top there. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm putting some dimensionals on first. Now, so this month I'm featuring all these different fun folds, but they're simple fun folds. Just enough to give you that wow factor without making it so complicated for your recipient or complicated for you to make for yourself too. These are tried and true card layouts that I just love, and I hope you get inspired to create some more cards, case them as well. So remember, copy and share everything, and all of the cards that I'm featuring for Club are actually cased from other cards that I've done before or I've received as a swap from other demonstrators usually. So I'm going to put that one there. Then I'm going to put this one tucked underneath it. Again, I'm using about, 2/3 of it, maybe 3/4 of it. And then when I do that, I'm going to snip off the excess from the back side. You could use your paper trimmer. I'm using my scissors. I find it works well just to glide them along the edge of the cardstock. Get a nice clean cut using that as my guideline. And I'm leaving it overhanging at the bottom here. I really like that look. Speaking of overhanging though, I've got a little dimensional that needs to be tucked in, so I'm just going to move him in like that. And then now I can take this second piece of that mid-sized hibiscus. Did I say hydrangea just now? I feel like I did. And then we're going to put that top and bottom, and then I tucked this piece in here just to really switch it up. This last little piece, you could use it. I'm just tossing it. I don't need any more flowers, I don't think. It's going to look beautiful there. Oh, it's so pretty. So when I'm putting on my Let's Celebrate, this side is quite popped up already, and I'm just going to put a dimensional underneath the right hand side and then put some Stampin' Seal along the left hand side. Two-dimensional sheet borders done. Love that. I feel so accomplished. So I'm putting that kind of there between the transition of the two flowers, and I'm going to put this on with dimensionals too because I'm obsessed with dimensionals. Just a reminder that we've got an overhang happening here. Don't put your dimensional right to the side. Let's put it in just a little bit. And it's not one more in the middle. If you're struggling to get your dimensional backers off, just try pressing down into the middle of your dimensional, and then that kind of pops up the edges and allows you to flick it off a little bit easier. If you don't have nails, you might want to try a take your pick tool, and that works pretty well too. There we go. Let's celebrate. I love the soft colors for that card there. And then I love knowing that, when you have the coordinating stamp set, you can actually do 3 products in one. I almost forgot about a little embellishment here. These are from the annual catalog. They're little gold embellishments. I think they're called foil something. We'll talk about it in a minute. I just put 2 up at the top here, a big one and a little one. And then for the third one, I just put down here. Now remember, you don't want to be throwing away these reusable envelopes, and they really are reusable. I love that you can keep using them over and over again. For me, whenever I give a card in person, I actually take this piece back and I keep reusing it as well. So they're great to put your cards inside so that when you're storing them, these little pieces aren't moving around or being removed when you're pulling them in and out. And you can mail in them too. So you can put a mailing label on there and stick it in the mail. Or if you wanted the ability for them to use it again, you could write it on the back of the card, their address and your return address, and put the stamp. Or just put a little piece of copy paper, so photocopy paper in there, and you can just slip that inside the envelope. And then your postal worker gets a little treat too. They get to see this beautiful creation that you've made. All right, let's talk about where you find these products. From the Celebration catalog, we have our Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper. And this is really spectacular. When you look at it in the full sheet, this is a really multicolored one. Then you've got some that are a little bit more like single color. The back sides are all watercolor washes or watercolor washes with a superimposed white flower on the top. And the same thing for the pieces that I've used for our projects. Hello, sweetie. My dog just came down again. So these are the front sides that I've given you. But the back sides are also really gorgeous too. Got that nice watercolor wash without having to do it yourself. Oh, I love it. Oh, I should have mentioned where I got my saying from. Sorry, you guys. I used Simply Said, and it has this great happy birthday, which I wanted to use, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't know where it is. It's assembled. It's on a block somewhere, and I was using it on a different project, obviously, but it's tucked away, maybe in my to-go bag of stamping. Who knows? It's such a great saying, this Simply Said. I used, I was going to use this one actually tonight. Love and Strength has some really great sayings on there too, like I am here for you, or there is hope, that would fit perfectly. And this is a carryover item from our last mini catalog. It's available as an online exclusive right now. I'm so glad that they carried this over, because this stamp set I think of as being quite essential. How about this? There is hope, and you can pair this saying along with it. Even when your brain tells you otherwise. Or you matter even when your brain tells you otherwise. There's also, it's okay if all you did today was breathe. And how about sharing love and strength this season? Perfect for the holiday season, or even if it's coming up on the anniversary of a person's passing and you want to share a card with their loved ones to let them know that you still remember and still care. Annual catalog has some items that we've used as well. So that Simply Said stamp set can be found on page 19. It's made to work really well with our mix and match products. But that being said, I think this is the #1 stamp set in this catalog to purchase. And that's because every month when you are a part of our monthly online card club, you actually receive the projects, and you just need a saying stamp for the most part. So this gives you all of those core sayings. It gives you scripty ones, it gives you long horizontal, it gives you a little bit more vertical ones, and you know what? You're going to use this one every single month, I think, if you get it. The card that I used as an inspiration is actually made by Christine McNichol. She's a demonstrator from New Zealand, actually. And she used this Layers of Beauty stamp set and the dies to create this card, which I used as inspiration. So this card here is the one that I used to case from. She's got that little pocket there as well. But you can see when you're using metric cardstock, so elsewhere in the world, our 8.5 by 11 is not 8.5 by 11. It's actually a little bit longer, and it's a little bit narrower. So you can see her card ended up being a little bit different dimensions than our card, which is a little bit shorter and squatter. But I think it looks beautiful in both styles. And I love what she did with this card here with the coloring. She did such a beautiful job. And then she stamped even some flowers on the back side, on this cardstock backing as well. And she did the trimming alongside the left side, but left this hanging over long, which really I think makes a beautiful impact. So I think you could use a whole bunch of different stamp sets and products to make a card like this. And this is just your example here, right? You've got two totally different looks. Oh, yay. Hello, Betty. It's good to see you. I love the floral detail too. Isn't it nice? Oh no. Okay. See you later, Michelle. I'm so glad. And the last one, yeah, on YouTube for sure. That's the thing, is when life gets crazy, it goes crazy in a few different ways normally, right? So don't you worry. Your stamping escape is ready for you whenever you are ready for it. The embellishments that we used, these ones are called iridescent foil gems is what they're called. They are just clear with a gold shimmer inside of them. But remember that you can use your Stampin' Blends markers, which are alcohol based, to color over the top, and you can make these any color that you want. So they're really quite versatile. Those are from the annual catalog. Okay, I don't think I had any online exclusives on there. Oh yes, I did. Of course I did. The main star of the show, Kelly, those beautiful hibiscus So the Happy Hibiscus bundle is available online. Remember that this bundle actually includes 3 products. So it includes the stamp set, and it includes the dies, and the dies actually include the embossing folder. So you're getting a whole bunch of product, and that's why the cost is a little bit higher on that one. Oh, there's the stamp set. I can't find the dies right now. Story of my life, right? So the dies also include dies to cut out, of course, these 3 here, which are 1 stamp. So these 3 are mounted as 1 stamp, so you can cut them out with just this 1 die, and then you can also cut out the other ones here too. I don't know where it went to though. I looked around for it a lot yesterday and I just couldn't find it. I looked around for it earlier today too, actually. I'll find it eventually. It's somewhere in the house, right? So there you go. The Happy Hibiscus bundle I think is a great one, and just remember to check online for the online exclusives. Okay, on to the last card. Here we go. This one here is not our last card in the stack. It was our first card in the stack, but we changed around the order a little bit because I wanted to make sure that we had time at the end here for this to dry. We're going to do a bit of watercoloring. So if you have a water painter, you'll want to get that filled up and ready to roll. The water painters come in 3 different sizes as 1 pack, and they're just fabulous to use with all kinds of different products. You can use them with reinkers. That's what I'm going to do. If you wanted to use them, if you didn't have a reinker in the color that you wanted, you can also turn stamp pad into a palette by stamping onto a block. Now how you would do that, I wouldn't recommend a green. We're going to be going with flower colors, so you can go with yellows. The colors that I'm doing are pulled right from the paper: Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, and then an orangey color, the in color Peach Pie. If though you have a stamp pad but you don't have a reinker, first of all, add that reinker onto your wish list and your ordering list, because you'll want to make sure you have that just in case you leave your ink pad open or something like that. But if you're working with an ink pad today instead of a reinker, you can just stamp onto a block like this, and then once the ink is on there, you can use your water painter to pick up from there and just use it like a palette. And I'm going to put that aside because that's a little bit of a booby trap. I'm using, for a bit of stamping on this project, Old Olive. So the Old Olive color for some stamping, but you can use whatever color that you want. And then in terms of the flower colors, I'm going to stick with the yellows and the orange from this project. So let me show you the finished result. It's another fun fold card. Woohoo! And it's got so many fun layers and things going on, including this watercolor paper. So to open this card, this flap actually comes up like this, opens, and then you've got your written message in there. Cute, right? This is actually a case of a card that I made before with a retired pack of label dies here that opened up like this. So same sort of thing, but this time we're actually using the arches from the Everyday Arches bundle, another online exclusive item. Make sure you're checking those online exclusives. There's so many items in there. And the one that we used here is kind of like a medium-sized one, and we just have the back of it being adhered to the back side of the card. So now that we know how this is kind of coming together, let's get started with our watercoloring. Now I'm going to actually put, what did I do? I just put my card away in the drawer. I'm doing such a good job of cleaning up that I cleaned up everything. Okay, so to do our watercoloring, we're going to take out these flower pieces, and you should have 6. So there should be 3 of these solid flower petals, and then there's like these overlays that go on each of them. And you'll notice that the paper is a different texture and a bit of a different color than your basic white, which is the rest of this cardstock. And that's because this paper isn't really paper at all. It's made of cotton. So I guess it would be more like a fabric, right? It's more like a textile. So you might want to grab your take your pick tool and pull that out. What have I got going on here? Making a mess of things behind the scenes here. There we go. Okay, so I'm just using the take your pick tool to poke out some of the holes. I'm actually really enjoying leaving little ones, oh come on camera, little ones like these ones in the paper, and I just think it looks like those CD pod whatever things. But I'm going to take out some of the bigger openings, and I'm so excited that I'm remembering to do this on my silicone mat tonight, because it's going to help my drying time for these beautiful layers pieces. Okay, so I've got it on my silicone mat. I'm going to start with the different colors here. Let's go Lemon Lolly, just a drop of that basically. And then our Daffodil Delight, that's like our darker yellow. Oh, I got two of those. And then we've got the Peach Pie. That's our orangey, our deeper orangey color. There we go, just one. Just one drop is needed. Now, when I've got my water painter here, I'm actually going to do a watercolor wash just with water over the top of these flowers. And that's going to allow me to play with the color even more than if it were dry. I'm going to do all of these 6 pieces. You don't have to have big puddles. The more water that you use, the longer it's going to take to dry. You might want to have a heat tool ready to go if you're in a rush. Or, you know, there's always assembling this in an hour or even tomorrow once it's dried, right? These bigger ones, though, I'm going to make sure that there's actually a fair amount of water on there, because I love this technique that I'm going to show you here. I'm going to lose these pieces if I have them over there, so let me move them. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze droplets of water into my droplets of re-inker, and you can kind of play around with the color saturation that you like. I'm going with a darker color on the bigger solid pieces, and then a lighter color on the other ones. And what I'm going to do here is just drop it, squeezing little droplets of re-inker on here, and that's going to really give this cool watercolored look. I love this technique. It's so much fun to play with. And now I'm going to take some of the darker color, and I've got a lot of water on there, so I can actually even touch down in some of the puddles and play with the color that way. And the idea is that this is not going to look perfect. It's going to look watercolored, right? And we're going to have highs and lows in the color. We might even have some white spots, right? But as this dries, it's going to just create this beautiful masterpiece. Oh, I really like how this is coming together. It's looking beautiful. We'll do a little bit more here in this corner, and then I think I'm done with these larger pieces. Now I still have some color on there. If you wanted to clean that off, baby wipe works really well, or the simple chamois you can also use. I'm kind of squeezing and painting it off onto there. It doesn't matter that we are still having a little bit of color on there, because we're going to be scooping up some color and putting it on here anyways. Now I kind of did darker on the outside of these bigger pieces. Let's go darker on the inside here, just to create a little bit of variance in color. Now I do want this to be quite a bit lighter, so I'm going to use my paintbrush more to like move the color around so that it doesn't end up too saturated. There we go. Pretty. And then now that I've got that base color now, I'm going to just come back with a little bit darker here in the middle. That will accentuate some of those little pieces that I left over. Oh, that's fun. I'm really happy with that. So just cleaning off my reinker. When you're done with your reinker, I would recommend taking it over to a tap, like a faucet, and then just using the reservoir and squeezing it, making sure that a lot of water is flowing through there. Sometimes you'll even get water flowing back into the reservoir that actually has pigment. We're working with really light colors here, but you can even unscrew this and then have the water flow right from the faucet right through here, and this will help to clear it out, because in the tubes inside here you might just have some color hiding, waiting to ambush you on your next project. We don't want that. You also probably want to clean out the lid. So whenever I'm done with my water painter, I always put it to the side and make sure that I take that and do a real good clean of it. And while I'm thinking of it right now too, I'm just gonna, oh, looks like I got some dimensional backers there too. Got my baby wipe, clean up my silicone. Even with darker colors of ink, this silicone does not stain, so it's really great to use. Let's start putting together our card now. Oh, I'm glad you're loving the fun folds, Priscilla. Me too. I love fun folds. They are just fun. It's in the name, right? This back piece here, we're going to put on some Designer Series paper. This is the part here that's going to be up at the top. Where's my Stampin Seal? Oh, I put it away. So a strip of that goes along the top here. There we go. And then that can be adhered onto the inside of the card. Fun folds are fun. My thing is that I just want them to be easy for the person to understand who is receiving the card. And sometimes I like a little bit of confusion, but if there's too much confusion, sometimes I have seen people rip apart or start to rip apart the cards that I've just given them. Especially, have you guys had this experience with like a belly band? A belly band is when you have basically like a loop of paper that would go all the way around like a belt. And so the person would have to slide off the belly band to open up the card. And I've kind of stopped doing belly bands because what I have noticed is that people just rip it apart. They don't know how to open it. I don't blame them either, right? I'm giving them like a little puzzle to figure out. Okay, so you've got your Designer Series paper on the inside. You've got your cardstock on the inside with your Designer Series paper strip at the top. And then this piece here is going to get scored. Normally, you guys, I cut this longer, and do you see why? It's because it's so hard to get it to line up, and I forgot to do that this month. Should I keep doing it? Do you like trimming it and making sure that it lines up perfectly, or are you liking just having it done and not having to get out your scissors and trim another piece? What do you think? What do you actually like? Because the thing is, nobody's perfect. As perfect as I try to be, man, oh man, it's not a thing. Can't do it. It's impossible as a human. Okay, I'm going to just line this up like this, pushing it down as far as it can. It's about 1 centimeter in from the side there, about 1/2 inch. And then I'm just going to press this onto the back here like this. And then now I've got my nice flap. The next step that we're going to do is take our wishing, which is die cut out of white paper, and we're going to put that onto our vellum paper. And this vellum paper is so special. Good either way for you, Betty? Oh, you're so flexible. Imperfect just means more whimsical. Love it. Yes. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I appreciate you. Well, I might continue on with my anal retentive ways. I seem to come by it pretty honestly. It's pretty ingrained in me. I come from an architectural background, but even before that, I am an aspiring perfectionist for many years now. That's why I call this my crafting therapy. You guys probably hear me talk about that a lot. Crafting therapy means so much to me because it means that it doesn't have to be perfect and it's still going to be okay, right? I just did this without showing you, but I've got an adhesive backing on there. So on the back side of wishing, there's a sticker backing that's applied. Just want to pull that off. It's like wax paper, and then the adhesive will be left onto the wishing. Very fine detailed cutout here. And easier said than done maybe when you're on camera is to get this centered onto the vellum. The good part is that adhesive backing is perfectly sticky enough, but not too sticky that you can't add or like change it up once you've placed it on there. Floral text at extra interest. Ooh, yes. Love it. Oh, come on. There we go. It's working. It's working. There we go. So I've got my wishing here. Now I'm going to put wishing on with some glue dots. Now, if you happen to have the glue dots from the paper pumpkin, they're actually different than the glue dots that are included on the roll that we sell. And the ones on the roll tend to be quite big. And so I'm actually going to, I folded this back onto itself. And then yours might be wound the other way. These glue dots have been going back and forth, just I think trying to make us feel like we're going crazy. And sometimes they're stuck to the piece that you pull away, and sometimes they're stuck here. Have you noticed that? Like, we're not going crazy, right? Anyways, I'm not crazy. I'm going to just pick this up with my take your pick tool. If you don't have a take your pick tool, that is a really awesome thing to get during celebration. And you might even want to explore because they've got different tips that can be added. So once you buy the stylus once, then you just have to purchase the different types of tips that you can add on. The paper pumpkin glue dots tend to be smaller, and my friend Dory just discovered recently that they're nearly invisible when you're applying them under vellum, which is so nice because vellum is tricky. This vellum has a lot going on, but other vellum, like just white vellum, can sometimes really show through any adhesive that you're using to hold it on. So wishing, what are we wishing? I'm wishing for the one I love. This one is Delightful Wishes, is the stamp set that goes along with this die pack. And you got the wishing detailed saying there where you can use the dies to cut out. So the dies have like a very detailed version and then an outline version. You can use the outline version to cut out the stamp. Here we've used the outline version layered underneath the detailed version. Cutting them out in different papers just gives that extra textured look. But I think I'm going to go with wishing you all the best because I've got it on a block already, and so that helps. But also because I really like that saying, wishing you all the best. You could use that for a whole bunch of different occasions. Do you leave your cards a little bit more generic when you've got them going into your stash, or do you like them to be quite specific? I have a friend, Jerry, who leaves most of the sayings off her stamps or her cards when she's crafting them, and then as she's giving them out, that's what she does. That's the final finishing touch. That's just the perfect saying for the perfect person. So wishing you all the best, fits nicely in there. And now let's start putting together this card. Maybe this is still drying a little bit. I'm going to speed it up, go with my heat tool, because we've got stuff to do here, right? I'm going to go, there's 2 settings on the heat tool. Most of the time I do the number 2 setting, but because I've got these on my silicone mat, they're raised up a little bit. The air was flowing underneath and flicking them around, so that wasn't going to work, was it? So I'm going to put it on the lower setting, the number 1 setting, and that's just going to dry these perfectly so that I can actually adhere them to my card, and you don't have to tune in tomorrow to see me do that. A heat tool is very different than a hair dryer. So hair dryers are made to get warm but not burn your hair, right? A heat tool is made to melt embossing powder into your paper, so it gets so much hotter than a hair dryer. If you're thinking that you want to do some heat embossing and you're going to give it a try with the hair dryer, just save your energy, I think. Save your time, save your energy. Just get yourself a heat tool. You're going to love it. You can use it for so many different things too. If you ever adhere something incorrectly and you want to soften the adhesive so that you can peel it apart, you can huff on it. But much easier, much quicker is to use the heat tool. Just blast wherever you've got adhesive and then try to peel it up. It will come right up for you. Oh, look at that. It's perfect. Okay, so we're going to stick on first our little leaves. These are cut out of the old olive paper, so there's no coloring to do. I thought coloring those flowers was enough for you tonight. You could have cut these out of the watercolor paper as well, but I just wanted you to have fun focusing on those flowers. So we've got those. I'm just putting them kind of like this. And then I had a piece of, oh, look at it. It's hiding, trying to hide underneath my glass mat here. So I'm going to just do my sneaky little loop bow. It's a bow that's not a bow. It looks like a bow, but there's no knot in the middle. So it's like a lazy bow. Or it's efficient. Maybe that's what it is. I'm going to just put it right onto my card here with some tear and tape. Tear and tape works wonders for something like this where you just want it to be perfectly placed on your card, but you're not too fussy about it. And even after you place it too, you can kind of pull this a little bit. I want these tails to be over just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now to start layering up, I'm going to put these on with dimensionals. Surprise, surprise. You know how the joke is sometimes to do like a drinking game when you have somebody saying something? Like on my community's Facebook page, they have like a joke drinking game, like whenever somebody posts like, did somebody hear gunshots? Like, we live in an amazing area of the city. So, like, it's not gunshots, guys. It's fireworks. For sure it's fireworks. So, they have this funny little joke of, like, a drinking game. But, oh my goodness. If you guys started doing a drinking game along with my online videos, you'd have to be really, really careful because I think you might hurt yourself. If you did a drinking game of like taking a sip of something every time I said I was using a dimensional, I think you might be dead by the end of the video. Right? Like, how many dimensionals is this lady going to use? This last final piece here is going to just go a little bit over top of the oval from that arch. And that's just so that it can tuck in and hold our card close, but it is easy enough to just kind of bend it and separate it and move it up. For this upper layer here, I didn't put the adhesive backing on like I did for that white wishes, and that's because it wouldn't have worked. This paper is watercolor paper made of cotton, and how it works is that it needs to saturate all the way through, and then it needs to have the backside to dry. Otherwise it would curl up and it would be all weird and wonky. So I'm going to put this on with just a couple of glue dots. And are you guys ready for a fun game? It's not a drinking game, don't worry. We wouldn't do that. We would do it with bubbly, maybe. Real crazy like that. This one here, you gotta just keep moving it around. You can be as finicky as you want to with this. Oh, I found it. I found where it matches. There it is. But you just kind of have to puzzle piece your way around. Oh my goodness, I love the look of that. It's so detailed and textured and has such variance in color. It's so pretty. Now this one here, the middle one, is the easiest one, I think. That one just kind of goes like that. And the smallest one is the easiest of all because I don't think it really has like a certain way that it needs to go. I'm just going to plunk it down there kind of in the middle. Ta-da! Okay, finishing touch on this card is my favorite part of this card, and that's these itty bitty tiny little golden bees. For that, I'm going to do my half of a glue dot trick again. So again, folding this down so it doesn't just get stuck onto my scissors. And then you can use your scissors to cut your glue dot in half. When you peel it open, then you'll have half there. However small you thought that these bees were going to be from looking at them in the catalog, didn't they still shock you, like how tiny they are? I love that. Oh, Betty says she's starting to leave us some sentiments also until giving. Thinking of you, so versatile. Yes, thinking of you is like the number one. Because you can think about a person in all different ways, right? Thinking of you is like a thoughtful, can be even kind of sad, sharing in the grief. Thinking of you. Or thinking of you on your birthday. That's so nice. There we go. Oh, I love those bees. They're so cute. They come in a pack of 40. You probably need 2 still, hey? I got myself 2 packs. I knew I was going to use them. I love them. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the finishing touch on the ribbon. Cutting those ends. I like to do it once it's on the card. You know how much to trim off. There we go. Wishing you all the best. Such a fun, cute little fold and really fresh with all those happy colors, hey? 3 different color combinations there. Yeah, I think there's even a 4th one that I'm not showing here. So many different options. Oh, I know the bees, hey? Priscilla, they're so beautiful. Okay, let's talk about where you find these products. Starting in our celebration, nothing. But I tell you what, once you look in our mini catalog, you're going to get a celebration item for free. These items all come from one suite, basically. And that's the Floral Design Suite. It is so stunningly gorgeous. Not a mega suite because we only have one bundle here, but it does have 2 different designer series papers, so it's still a humongous suite. This is a humongous suite, not a mega suite. There's different thresholds. I'm making this all up, of course. Okay, the stamp set here has some buildable, like 2-step stamping so that you can make these beautiful floral images. Let's see if there's a sample that you can see here. Not on that. Oh yes. Yeah, here we go. On this Wishing You Well card down at the bottom, you can see that they have done 2-step stamping. And so you've got the blooms coming up off of the branch. Now where does that branch come from? The die pack. So bundle and save 10%. This looks pretty barren because I used so many of them on your card tonight. So again, the outlines and the leaves, you got the inside of the flowers, and then the wishing outline and the detailed wishing. Then you also have the branch, a really nice long tag where you can fit all of these different sayings to go with your wishing. This piece here, which cuts out the two-step stamping. And then you've also got some more little flower center bursts that you can put on, a detailed leaf where you can line those up, just like what we did for the flowers. And then this piece here is a really interesting piece. It does not cut out the outline. It only cuts out this pattern. So an example of that would be on page 33, where I'll try to show this as best as I can here, where that brown piece of designer series paper, they've cut the pattern out and it's kind of peeking out from behind here. Love that look. It's a really cool die pack, and lots of versatility, I think, with the images that they have there. So also on this page, we should of course mention those bees. Now I want to caution you, if you like this suite, get it sooner than later. In March, this is going to be the hottest thing because the paper pumpkin that's coming out in March is the same suite. So we know in the past, anytime a paper pumpkin matches with the catalog, it really increases the sales of those items, and we often see them going on back order. So if you like anything from this suite, you want to get it in February or as soon as possible, because in March, about mid-March, when the paper pumpkin sends out in the mail, this is going to be a hot commodity because people are just going to want to coordinate even more and more and more. So get those bees before they're gone. I'm sure they'll be restocking them, but you don't want to wait for them. You want to get them sooner than later, right? Item number 4 is the Daffodil Delight. Oh, that's funny. Daffodil Delight satin ribbon. This is 1/8 of an inch. It's really thin and small, and I love how dainty it is. It's perfect for applying just the way that we did, as like a little kind of swirly twine-ish almost look on the card, and it just adds that extra little textural element. Number 5 is the Floral Gingham Vellum. This one comes with 6 sheets, 3 designs, so two of each of the designs. And the designs are so pretty. There's this one here, and you can see the vellum has this beautiful like translucent quality, but it's got really vibrant printing on there, so it has a lot of detail. These ones are a little bit more subtle. We've got a gingham in this beautiful, what color is this? What color of blue do you think it is? I think it's balmy blue. Oh, pool party, they're saying. Okay. And then this one here is printed with the flowers. Then you've also got a pack of designer series paper, and oh my goodness, you guys, I've got hardly any left of this. I got little strips to show you. And one of the sheets, I don't even have any of it. One of the sheets, the green one, I used all of it. And then these are the other strips that we've got here. So one is this kind of brown textural piece. There we go. This brown textural piece. And then the rest are these really vibrant florals. And on the back side, you got more of that happy yellow. You've got more of like a gingham pattern and geometric patterns. So lots of options there for doing monochromatic and sticking with the yellows, or you can add whatever color that you want to go along with it, right? That's the thing. Purples would go perfectly. Pinks, even reds would be gorgeous. From our annual catalog, we've got a few items. And number 1 favorite adhesive that saves my bacon all the time are these adhesive sheets. So they come 6 inches by 12 inches. And when you're using them, like how I use them on the back side of this detailed wishes, you're just going to stick them to, they come like this. You just stick them to the back side of the paper, kind of like this. I would put it, all the way across, right? But this is just showing you. And then you're going to die cut it out. When you're die cutting the wishes, you want to make sure that you've got the writing happening in the right direction, not cutting from the back side, because this part is going to be the part that you stick down onto the paper. So when I peel back this very stubborn layer, it leaves this adhesive sheet. So I use it very much for detailed die cuts. You can use it for punching as well. But you could use this for everything that you want to adhere, right? It's so easy to use, and you get so much in a pack that I find it lasts a really long time too. Check your supply of your adhesive sheets and get it during celebration, right? On the next page here, we've got our water painters. This page shows you all different watercolor techniques and different products that you use. One of my favorites truly though is the water painters. I just love those. Have a beautiful look to them, and they're really easy to use. I find that the tips also really stand up over the test of time, and you get 3 painters with that. There's 2 of like a thinner brush tip and then 1 of a very wide brush tip, almost 3/4 of an inch wide. And then the paper that we used along with it is underneath the watercolor must-have section, and that's Fluid 100 watercolor paper. It's made of cotton, 100% cotton, and it's 5 inches by 7 inches. And I want to point out, when you get this pack, I'm down to my last little bits here. You can see the little bits that I've got left over. But you can actually use this backing piece, like the informational piece, because it's made from the same cotton. Isn't that awesome? So you can die cut that. And as long as, you know, you're not doing anything that's too light, then the black might show through a little bit. You might get a little Stampin' Up! Reverse logo on there. But if you're using with darker colors, that won't show through at all. So it's an extra bang for your buck. The final item is from our online exclusives. And it's probably one of my favorite online exclusives that they released. That is, next page. It's called the Everyday Arches Bundle. It's $62, and it comes with a great saying set with all these really fun curved sayings, some straight ones too. And then it comes with all these arches, which are great for making it look like a window peekaboo opening. There's a designer series paper that looks like painted skies, like beautiful abstract skies. So you can put that underneath and have it like you're looking out a window and you're seeing maybe planes, or you're seeing a hot air balloon, or little birds, or stars even. So that would be really pretty. But I wanted to showcase it, that it doesn't have to be just an arch. It can be like a design element that is a part of your card. So kind of turning it on its head and flipping it around. And after I had designed this card, it was so cool to see Brian from the United States. Brian King is his name, and he actually hit $1 million in sales, which is unbelievably amazing. And his card that he received from Stampin' Up, the CEO of Stampin' Up, had all of these different flaps. And so you'd have to imagine this a little bit. Look it up even on his Facebook page or Instagram. And so the card is like a cardstock base, and then you open up this flap, and then you open up this flap, and then you open up this flap, and it all says different things. I'm describing it, but really you have to see it and to understand it. It's so fun and different, unique, and it's like exactly where I was thinking with these little flaps floating around. So there you go. There you have it. So many fun products. Many of them are online exclusives, so be sure to check out my website, so stampingwithkelly.stampinup.net. And I can just move this stuff to the side a little bit, because I have my most important question for you, which is, which was your favorite project from the night? I'm going to take this off. Okay, did you like, they're all fun folds, right? But did you like the nostalgia of this cute little bunny and critter set? Did you like the garden maybe, and the beautiful watercolor trees from this one, and the deep regal colors? Maybe you liked popping out those, oh man, hibiscus. I was going to say hydrangea again. Not hydrangea, they're hibiscus. And like the avant-garde look of this card. Or did you like getting maybe a little bit inky and playing around with watercoloring some of these beautiful flowers for this card. What do you like? Oh, Priscilla, you like the storybook card? Yay! Oh, yes, and I love Brian too. I remember when I was at a conference and he was doing his first ever presentation there, and everyone, as you know, stamping is majority female, and he was just so fun and sassy and great to watch as a presentation at our conference. So yeah, Brian is just a gem. He's an awesome person to follow on social media too. He has great creations that are nice and simple in design, and reminds me to get back to simplifying my cards. But that's not what Card Club is about, right? Card Club is about wowing techniques. It's about having fun and exploring around and seeing what you can do with different things and playing together, right? Getting inspired. And you could take bits and pieces of these cards and simplify them down, but hey, go big or go home, right? Are you at home? You're already at home. We go big at home. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me for this online crafting event. And again, if you've been watching along and you don't have any of these projects in your hands, just reach out. I can send them anywhere in Canada, and you can receive them for free with a minimum $35 order. Remember that celebration ends at the end of this month. Free products with every $75 order increment, and you also get a free gift from me with a $150 order increment. So, or minimum order, I should say. So reach out to me if you would like to craft along with me. I would just love to have you join me. So thank you again for watching, and hope to stamp with you again very soon.